Okay, now, in the interest of time, we need to wrap some things up.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot to do there. None of it's huge.
No.
How do you feel about your ability to do what's on that list?
I think all the family things that's really only going to take a couple of texts. I don't think that's a big deal. That's a dinner conversation. That's not difficult.
Wonderful.
I don't think I'm asking anyone to do anything there they're not already happy to do.
Yeah.
Finding 20 minutes with my manager may not happen today, but it will happen.
Yeah.
And then the next planning meeting's not until next Wednesday, so that gives me a little bit of time. I'll see if Tim can see me this afternoon. If not, maybe I know Monday mornings are generally a good time for us to meet. So
give yourself some space, because you've just gone through a fair degree of stuff with this.
I won't do it today then.
If you achieve that sometime next week.
Okay, all right, cool. All right.
It's your call.
So,
it's your call.
Just getting a little master plan in my head.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we have scheduled, we've got a number of these sessions coming up.
Great.
And there's so much more we can talk about in this. And I've got a bunch of material which I'm going to quickly go through with you in a second. I guess from my perspective, what we focused on is what will start to build some momentum. And really, development comes through building some momentum. And so there's maybe lots and lots of things to achieve, but for what it's worth, what happens when you run out of things you want to work on? What do you do then?
I can't think of a time.
Just vibrate to a different platform somewhere or something like that. So we're always going to have things to work on, yeah? So the point is to embrace it and find a sense of joy on it and so on. So you're probably going to have some questions, that's great. So we're going to catch up in a couple of weeks, and so bring your questions and we'll work through them, okay?
Yeah.
Now, some materials that I want to quickly go through with you to help you go a little bit deeper in some of these things. So we have the one-pager that we talked about.
Okay.
In here we've got, this is a booklet that we have for LSI 1, we have the same booklet for LSI 2. So in the booklet we have your printed profile, and it has every single item that you've scored in. That's right.
How did I come to that?
And where they came from and so on. Now, everything I'm going to say is recorded down the bottom of the fine print. But the thing to remember is, what we did was, we took there's 240 items in the LSI, and every single one of them, we ran a correlation to effectiveness. So we could say which of the items correlate more strongly to effectiveness. And what we have is the ones at the top of the page correlate more strongly with effectiveness than the ones at the bottom of the page.
So these ones are more...
So simplistically, the ones at the top of the page are more important than the ones at the bottom of the page. They're all important, but the ones at the top of the page are more important. It's all repeated down here, okay? So we have all of the styles here, all the questions here. Now, for red and green, the same is true, just that the ones at the top of the page correlate strongly with effectiveness, but negatively.
The least effective.
Yes. So what you've got here, how I simplistically think about this is, if you're going to have a low score for blue, you'll want it at the bottom of the page.
Right.
If you're going to have any score for red and green, you want it at the bottom of the page, okay? So you want as low score as possible at the top, all right? Lastly, at the back here, we have some outcome questions here. And so things like, how satisfied are you with work-related accomplishments and so on. And the X is the average. And you can see whether you score above or below. And there's a few here where you've scored yourself below average on this and so on. So next time around, we might spend a bit more time on just talking through some of those things, okay? That's LSI 1. LSI 2, feedback from others, follows very similar process. We have the printed profile. We have some additional data here. So what we have is we have the score
Oh, because it is, you've had
from
to,
the 5 people giving you feedback.
Sure.
We have the median. So the
Yep.
median is the midpoint. And so in our norm group, we have the midpoint. So 50% score above, 50% score below. And then we have the gap between your score and the middle point, okay? And so for blue, you prefer to be above the median, for red and green below the median, okay? So all of this is explained down here, okay? There's a lot of detail here, but we'll spend some time getting into that next time round. We also have those summary questions in the back here. We have the green is your responses, the red is responses from others. And,
See how different they are,
and
yeah.
the length of the line, the idea here is that the longer the line, the greater the variation.
Oh,
So small is beautiful here. What we're looking for here, you can see it's quite a short line.
the
So-
people are thinking the same way.
Exactly.
So I'm not different with one
Correct.
person than another.
So with some of the
Right.
others, they're
Yeah.
perhaps a little bit longer, but yours look
Okay.
pretty consistent.
Okay, well,
And when you
that's-
looked at the LSI 1 and LSI 2, they were
yeah.
actually pretty consistent.
Yeah.
There was a few variations, but
Okay,
nothing major.
that's-
And lastly, we have this little graph here, which talks about whether your feedback between LSI 1 and LSI 2, if you have things like stumbling blocks, unrecognized strengths, blind spots, and confirmed strengths.
Yeah, yeah.
So a confirmed strength, so we've got a confirmed strength for this one here. We go across to confirmed strength, and on this page here, it tells you what it means. So you've got a confirmed strength for a green style, and so all it really says here is that self and others agree that because we're working on a defensive strong, or a defensive style is weak.
Right.
Okay, so have a look at what these are and you can interpret them over here.
sure.
All right, so that's some more information around the data. In here, we have a it keeps coming. We have there's no steak knives. We have a self-development guide, and so for each of the 12 styles, there's a chapter on each of them. So it may be
Bit like the
worthwhile,
cards,
that's right,
yeah.
it may be worthwhile having a look at some of these chapters here, specifically self-actualizing and achievement, because there's a couple of styles you're going to be looking at. So it says, what is the style, how does it, whether your score is high, medium or low, here's some additional information,
Okay,
and so
okay.
on, okay? So, all of this is yours to take away.
Thank you.
Now, any further questions? That's quite a lot to take on.
Look, honestly, Matthew, I think I will work my way through this. You've done a really great job of explaining it, and I realise that I don't think I really knew what it was going to look like, so that's
Thank you.
great. I feel quite positive and bit buoyant about all of this, so that's good, because I wasn't feeling that great when I came in this morning. So that's
Wonderful.
that's really good, and I think I have to stop being quite so hard on myself. So anyway, when next we meet, I'm sure I might have some pushback. And anyway, we can discuss
work
that
through
when,
that. We'll work through that.
yeah.
Now, you should have got an email from me that's got all my contact details in
yep,
it
got that.
at any point.
Yep.
Pick up the
Okay.
phone, send me an email.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing the artist come through again.
Oh, okay.
I'm very curious about some of the art, so I'd love to see some.
All right, thank
So
you.
you're smiling, you're leaving here smiling, which is good.
It's good. You may not like it, but I don't care. Hey, how
Good,
about that? There
good.
you go.
I can show you some of my art, then you'll know how good your artist will be. I'm appalling. Wonderful. Lovely to spend some time with you.
Thank
Look
you very
forward to the
much.
next couple of sessions
Yeah,
together.
no, me too, me too.
Take care of yourself,
Thank
Sarah.
you.
All the best. Well done. Thank you.
a lot.
This felt like a great debrief. I really enjoyed this debrief. I felt I was able to really match Sarah's pace early. It was a gentle process and time passed very, very quickly. We were able to unfold the story as it unraveled in front of us. Sarah was quite tentative and quite timid to begin with, very overwhelmed. There was a theme through the debrief for Sarah, and that was time and space. And so I finished the debrief with a real sense that Sarah has been able to identify some mechanisms that will give her just that, some time and space back in her life. My summation of Sarah is someone who was innately capable, but had just become overwhelmed. Ironically, she has created her own problem by taking on too much, by not being able to say no. Sarah leaves the debrief happy. She uses words like buoyant and positive, and she walks out of the room smiling. From time to time, these debriefs come along and they're quite wonderful to be part of. So it's been a great experience working with someone like Sarah, and I'm looking forward to continue working with her down the track.